What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
The Los Angeles Lakers barely beat the San Antonio Spurs in Texas 120-115. The game more or less went down to the wire. Now, I have a couple things I want to talk about here. I was going to make separate episodes, but I'm just going to put everything right here into this Lakers and Spurs video. Despite what the narratives might try to tell you about LeBron James recording his fourth straight triple-double, being the best player on the team, in the game, or in the NBA, that's not the case, okay? The best player in the game was Anthony Davis. See, y'all love plus minus until it doesn't work in your favor. You Bron Goblins. Anthony Davis plus 12, LeBron James plus 3. Anthony Davis does so much for that team offensively and defensively. Anthony Davis, no, he didn't have a triple-double, but he had 40 points, 12 rebounds, 14 for 26 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, throwing 2 blocks and a steal, and was a game changer when he was on the floor. Game ball goes to Anthony Davis. No mistake about it. Back to LeBron James. Yeah, fourth straight triple-double, right? 15 points, 16 rebounds, 12 assists. Good game. Except, I remember networks constantly getting on Russell Westbrook for turnovers, especially when he played with LeBron James. Even though LeBron James most games had about just as many turnovers as Russell Westbrook, but they would only care about Russell Westbrook's turnovers. They were infatuated with that particular column in the box score. Well, despite LeBron James's triple-double, and sneakily moving back into the point guard position and sending D'Lo to the bench, which I knew that was going to happen. He needed the assist numbers so that his name could keep being mentioned as the best player on the team, because he's not going to be able to keep up with Anthony Davis statistically. I see what's going on here, but never mind that. LeBron James, 7 turnovers. You got to clean that up. You got to clean that up, LeBron. 7 turnovers? What would Skip Bayless say? Westbrookian-like turnovers? Yeah, Westbrookian. Despite LeBron James being the all-time leader in NBA history in turnovers. Don't mention longevity, because y'all don't want to give that longevity context to anybody else when it comes to field goal attempts or missed field goal attempts or most shots attempted. Y'all don't want to talk about longevity then. 7 turnovers. And these were disgusting turnovers. Turnovers during key moments of the game with the pendulum swinging, momentum hanging in the balance. Abysmal turnovers. Bad passes, sloppy passes, lazy passes, passes being overthrown, passes being underthrown, getting his pocket picked. The game shouldn't have even been this close if it wasn't for all of LeBron James's turnovers. Also add Victor Wembanyama letting the Lakers defense off the hook. We'll get into that soon. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm happy the Lakers won. But, like I said, I'm keeping it 100, and I'm going to critique where I feel I need to critique. An injustice of Russell Westbrook and how they destroyed 2.5 years of this man's career. Well, you might as well say from here on out, because he will never recover. I don't think he'll ever recover from everything that happened in LA. I'm talking about these goddamn turnovers, LeBron. But they're not going to talk about it. We know mainstream media isn't going to talk about it. After the game, they had like the recap and they're highlighting it. No mention of his turnovers. I bet you at the little ESPN ticker at the bottom, LeBron James, 4th straight triple-double, points, rebounds, assists, They won't throw them 7 turnovers in there like they did Russell Westbrook, and how they continue to do Russell Westbrook. LeBron, you got to cut these turnovers down, man. You have to be responsible with the basketball. Stop making boneheaded plays. Low basketball IQ, right? That's what y'all called Russell Westbrook. When he would have moderate turnover games, not even high turnover games, moderate turnover games, y'all accused him of having a low basketball IQ. Well, I'm keeping that same energy. Boy, I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. You know what's funny? During the broadcast, Richard Jefferson, and I can't remember the other guy that was broadcasting with him, but then RJ made a comment, and it almost sounded like he was accusing LeBron James of stat padding, which I knew he wasn't, at least knowingly, because RJ is a huge Bron Goblin. He's part of the La Media. He's part of the La Cult. That's Richard Jefferson. But anyway, so then the other broadcaster's like, are you accusing LeBron James of stat padding? And he's like, no, I'm definitely not doing that. And then he gave his explanation. I don't remember what his explanation was. Whatever. I didn't think much of it because I knew he would never do that because he does whatever LeBron James tells him to do. But later on in the broadcast, after LeBron James gets his triple-double in the third quarter, and RJ's just, popping off talking about it, during his rant, he then accuses LeBron James of stat padding without even knowing he was doing it. He basically said this, not verbatim. He said, LeBron James has done a lot of stuff in his career, at almost 40 years of age. He's done a lot of things, checked a lot of boxes, but one thing he hasn't done is recorded 4 straight triple-doubles in his career. So now he's just out here challenging himself, doing things, basically breaking records, things that he hasn't done yet to challenge himself. He then goes on to say, don't get me wrong, this isn't verbatim. He then goes on to say, now that LeBron James has accomplished this triple-double, now that he has a triple-double for this game, I expect him to start being more aggressive scoring the basketball. You are now accusing him of stat padding. You are saying that he was going out specifically to get the triple-double early to get his numbers, and now that he has the rebounds and the assists, he's going to focus on getting his scoring up. So now that 10-point triple-double or 11-point triple-double, it looks something more like a 25-point triple-double or 30-point triple-double. I'm not making this up. This happened on the broadcast. He didn't even know what he was saying, but he accused LeBron James of stat padding or a pattern of history from his behavior. I'm not making this up. Now, immediately after getting that triple-double, I watched LeBron James run to the other side of the basket and hoist up 2 bad 3-point shots. He bricked most of them. So then I was like, oh my God, he's really going to sit here and try to get his points up now that he got the triple-double. But after that, he didn't really shoot anymore for the rest of the game, for the most part. So he didn't end up doing that. Thank God. But I'm not saying that he still wasn't fishing out that triple-double regardless. But anyway, I thought that was funny. Now, off LeBron James, outside of his turnovers, he had a good game. But I'm talking about them turnovers. But off LeBron James, let's go to Victor Wembanyama. I've been on the record saying on this channel for many, many episodes, and I'm sure some of you are tired of me hearing it because it's like a broken record about my opinions on Wemby and his offensive skills and how he plays the game offensively. Now, he's been hot from three-point land the last 3 games. I put out a video about this recently. But one thing I said in that last video is that it's fool's gold. This is not sustainable. He's not a shooter. He's not a three-point shooter. So eventually, and it might not take very long, he's going to fall back down to his averages, shooting like 30 to 32, 33% from three-point land. He's not a shooter. He just caught rhythm for a couple of games. And in the game against the Lakers, he started out, looks like he was going to have another good three-point shooting game. But, like I said, it's fool's gold. Don't fall for it. Be smart about your three-point attempts. He didn't do that. And he ended up having another abysmal three-point shooting game that seems to be more of the norm of the larger sample size of his career and this season. Wemby attempted 25 shots, okay? 13 of those shots were three-pointers. Over half of his shots were three-pointers. And he shot 4 for 13. Like I told you guys, fool's gold. He is not a shooter because of 2 or 3 games where he finally hit some. He's letting defenses off the hook. And I knew it was going to happen this game. You know why I knew it was going to happen this game? Because now, instead of being met with all these small players or maybe bigs that lack the mobility and coordination, now he's looking at Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis might not be as tall as Wemby, but he's tall enough. And Anthony Davis is coordinated. And Anthony Davis is more of a mobile 7-footer that's coordinated, which means that all of Wemby's mobility that he has for his size isn't throwing Anthony Davis off mark like it might do other bigs. So AD was going to be able to keep up with him and move with him. And I knew because of that, Wemby was going to settle for more long-distance three-point bombs because he wasn't going to be able to move or maneuver around Anthony Davis closer to the basket. And he was going to settle for those switches at the top of the three-point line and hoist them up. And that is exactly what he did. I called it. 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 And sure enough, he started bricking all of them. And that's one of the reasons. That's a big reason why the Spurs ended up losing this game, in my opinion. Because there were some critical moments of that game, and he was just taking three-point shots. Well, I would have rather seen him work off the ball, get better position. I mean, Anthony Davis wasn't even guarding him all the time in the paint. There were times where he was switched off on a smaller defender. Like I think it might have been Gabe Vincent or somebody like that. I can't remember. But he has him pinned under the basket, more or less. Has his hand up for the ball. But I'm like, Wemby, all you get, your body to body. At this point, all you got to do is do a quick spin off his body, lob. Quick spin off his body, catch, keep the ball high, put it right back up. But he was just standing there. And I'm like, dude, spin off his body. It's simple. Simple. He's overplaying you, and he's too small. Spin off his body. Crazy. Anyway, I'm rooting for Wemby. I'm happy the Lakers won. Lifelong Laker fan. Rooting for Wemby, man. I want him to be the best he can be, but he has to, develop these other skills to take his potential through the roof. Because right now, his offense is as good as how good his three-point shot is that game, and he's not a shooter. That's all I got to say about it, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.